I told you the NFL is back. It's back in action. It is preseason, but the NFL is still back. I'm not discounting it at all. But one of the top headlines that came out of, this past preseason games for me, this one is the one that I could not ignore. The Colts have named Anthony Richardson the starting quarterback for the regular season. The Colts have named Anthony Richardson the starting quarterback for the regular season. It don't get more important than that. It don't get more fun than that. Colts fans should be elated. Fantasy football fans should be elated. Everyone should be excited to see what Anthony Richardson is about to do. It's going to be fun. I'm not saying he's going to win them a Super Bowl or, get them to the playoffs or this and that. Maybe I'm more excited just from a fantasy football aspect. But it's definitely a football aspect too, because Anthony Richardson is super fun to watch. So this is great news. I'm super excited about this. I absolutely love this. And anyone who knows, I've been an Anthony Richardson fan. I actually wanted the Raiders to take Anthony Richardson. And, I'm excited for his career from an NFL standpoint, from, what he can do in the game itself. But also I'm a huge fantasy fan, dynasty fan. And so I'm going to obviously have tons of fun with Anthony Richardson on teams. I love Anthony Richardson's game. I think it translates to the NFL super well. You give me that aspect where a quarterback can run and do things with the ball that other quarterbacks can't. And I'm definitely in love with it from a fantasy football perspective. No question about it. Here's a tweet from NFL Rookie Watch. Anthony Richardson's deep accuracy is something else. Richardson was just recently named the Colts starting quarterback for the regular season. Gardner Minshew said that Richardson is going to be special as the face of the Colts franchise. Richardson's connection with Alec Pierce has also reportedly started to heat up. Connection on a 30-plus yard touchdown today. The Anthony Richardson era is officially here. It's here. It's Anthony Richardson now, right now, damn it. As the starting quarterback for the Colts. How is this going to play out any other way? We're kind of acting a little surprised, but why are we surprised? We're not really surprised. This was obvious. This was obviously the way this was going to play out, because nobody was going to be, what was Gardner Minshew going to beat him? And that's no shade to Minshew. I love Gardner Minshew. He's a fun guy. Plays pretty good ball. Was he going to beat Anthony Richardson? Come on. You don't really believe that. I know you don't. Adam Schefter tweeted, number 1 pick, Bryce Young has won Carolina starting quarterback job. Number 2 pick, C.J. Stroud is expected to start his second straight preseason game and appears to be the opening game starter. Number 4 pick, Anthony Richardson has won the Colts starting quarterback job. A rush to the rookies. When you draft a quarterback that early, that is the goal. That is the goal. That is why Will Levis fell, because no one's going to start him. No one is going to start Will Levis right now. But when you draft a Bryce Young, a C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, super talented, elite level guys, you're going to play him. You're going to play him. It's just the way it is. Unless you have this really good veteran quarterback who you are phasing out, but he's not done yet. Then you can let a guy sit for a couple years, a year or two, a la Jordan Love. Very similar to that situation. But that wasn't the case for these 3 teams. That was not the case at all. So totally understandable that all 3 of these guys were going to start. That was my assumption going into the year. So I'm not surprised. This tweet from Brandon Thorne, NFL. Anthony Richardson is fun. Let's look at this really quick. Got this first play where he takes off, couldn't tackle him, and he literally bum rushes the defender. Next play, he's over here slinging across the middle. Beautiful catch, beautiful pass. And then this one here, just putting the icing on the cake. Oh, come on. Money. How can you not be excited seeing that? And again, we talked about it earlier in the show. I don't care about the context that this is preseason, vanilla defenses, vanilla play calling, backups, guys who aren't going to be on the team. I don't care about none of that. Because in this situation, these are the things that I'm talking about, the context that matters, the things that I look at, the results that I actually pay attention to. These are them. Anthony Richardson was a baller. Anthony Richardson was putting passes on the money. Those matter. He has to make that pass, whether it's preseason, whether it's vanilla defenses, whether it's backups. He has to make that kind of pass, period. If he was to mess that pass up, I would judge him for it. So you can say it's preseason and the positives don't matter as much as we want them to, but if that pass was bad, I would actually slam him negatively for it. If he didn't have the running game going and doing things in the running game, I would be like, what's going on here? Are they limiting him? Are they telling him not to run? What's going on? if he wasn't able to make those passes, accurately over the middle, open passes that were there for him, I'd be concerned. The fact that he made them, it counts for something for me. I'm not going to shade it. This tweet from Colts_law, Lawrence Owen, to those fans outside of the Indy area who are saying it's stupid or a tank job to start Anthony Richardson this NFL season. If you've been to even one Colts full padded practice, you know how wrong you are. I was a skeptic until I saw for my own. There you go. He had his skeptics, no doubt. He was one of the most questioned quarterbacks coming into the draft. So no doubt the skeptics were there. You weren't the only one. If you were down him, you weren't the only one. I wasn't down him. I believed in him. He was my favorite quarterback in the draft. I love the upside, the high ceiling of a quarterback who could run like that, who can sling the rock like that. We'll work on everything else. That's how I look at it. We'll work on everything else. We'll figure it all out. Also, this one here. Here's my full exchange with new Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson. This is from James Boyd. I asked him if he ever thinks his hard work is overlooked because of his physical gifts. He said, despite all that, you got to work. Followed up and asked what he's chasing. He said, greatness. It ain't just the legs. It isn't just the arm. It's the mindset, the mentality. Anthony Richardson is a good dude. Like, he said everything right that you expect to hear from a quarterback, or that you want to hear from a quarterback, a rookie quarterback. If he messes up, no one's seen that coming, because he seems like a great dude. Every report I've ever seen out of Indy since he got there has been good. All the quotes, all the quotables, he's a leader. The Colts jumped and made him starter now. They're letting their team know, this is your guy. This is the leader of this team. That's what they did. That's what they did today by doing this. They let you know without a shadow of a doubt that this is the leader of this football team. I respect it. Do you think, for me, looking now, you say, Neal, how good can Anthony Richardson be? I always like to go to like a fantasy football aspect to kind of compare production-wise, or what I think how good I think a player could be. I think Anthony Richardson, for me, can easily be in the top 10 in fantasy football this year. Top 10, 12 is light work to me. I don't even think that's difficult to imagine. Look who finished there last year. Look who finished there, and tell me you don't think, with the high floor upside of the running game, where he could run around with the ball, get rushing touchdowns, tell me you don't think he could be top 10, 12. Rookie season, out the gate. And you're not even having to draft him that early. His ADP in drafts is like 16, 15, 16, I believe. Somewhere in that range. So he's a steal. He's a steal. Do you like Anthony Richardson? Do you think he'll be a top 12 quarterback? Let me know in the comments right now. Anthony Richardson in fantasy football, top 12? Yes, top 12. No, top 12. I want to know what you think. Drop it in the comments. Let's continue the conversation there.